We got a big show tonight. Welcome. This is MC Facebook Live in Search of Awesome number 189. So we just continue to go out into the Facebook Summit community and find Summit Instagram Jedis that are blowing up. And we have one tonight. Jordyn Pinto's in the house. She is a Jedi. I don't know. She's probably going to do 300 referrals this year, give or take. From Love Plus Roots Salon, Austin, Texas. Salon owner Callie Rambo and Jessica Chapman. And Kim Light Pearson is on the program. She's watching because she wants to watch tonight. That's the big coach. And Kim actually blew in my ear about Jordyn. So I think you're going to enjoy the ride. Let me tell you why I invited Jordyn on the program. This is really technically Jordyn's first full year, really, at Love Plus Roots, and in 18, 25 thou, because she was just kind of getting started halfway through. Look at this. She's going to darn near triple her income this year, and then in her first full year, that's just over $70,000 on a W-2. I'm going to call up Guinness Book of World Records tonight after the show because I think that's a first. Big time. She's behind the chair 5 days a week, level 3. I think she did a double level jump from 1 to 2 to 3 inside of this year. That's huge. 24 years old. Average service day in or around $450. Average service tickets, 108. Her haircut prices on women is 57, so she's well over 2 times on her ticket. 32 referrals a month. Are you kidding? She's like blowing it out of the park. Rebooking about 50%, and her RTS is running at 20%. So now you know why she's on the program. You're going to want to have your ultrasound hearing aids on tonight. She's going to tell you about her story, so I don't want to take too much of that away from her. But here's her timeline, just extraordinary. Graduates from high school in 13, graduates from hair school in 16, did some education in between this. I'm going to let her tell you about it. In 18, her first year was in another salon at 25, and she joins a Summit salon this year, and it's like pouring nitroglycerin on her bonfire. You're going to want to follow her on Instagram. What she's doing on her highlights, what she's doing, some of the stuff on her grid, especially with some of her videography with slow motion, and the effect is just nothing short of amazing. Uses the bomb iPhone XS, just over 3,000 followers on her page. She says 20% of her guests are following. I have a feeling that it's a little bit more. 50%, she says 50% of referrals come in from social. I bet if I know it's more than that, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt. So she's going to be taking us on the ride. Now, she's in our green room. I'm going to go get her. I'm going to get her talking a little bit about her story, as we always do, because it's amazing. And then she's going to take us on a little field trip on her pages and talk to us about what she's doing on social that's making a difference. So let's go back there now, get her on. And there she is. Why don't you give it up for you guys?
Hello.
Did you hear me bragging on you?
I did. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I know you had a big day in the salon, and you're going to give us a few minutes tonight. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. Well, Jordyn, we always love to get the story because the story is what is the inspiration and the soul part of the conversation. And you've told me your story before tonight, and it's amazing. I'd like to have you share it with the world. Who are you? What were you doing before you pivoted and decided to do this? And kind of what inspired you to pursue this?
Well, I was actually in college to be an architect, and my heart just was not in it, and I just knew it wasn't for me, so I left, and I looked into beauty school, and while I was doing that, I also started working for a modeling agency, just so that I could be a part of that creating and the beauty industry and really see if that was something that I wanted.
So you're well into college, doing some model work, and what's been calling on your soul is hairdressing. So somewhere in college, you make a pivot. right? You kind of change your direction. How was that received by, your fam, siblings, and stuff when all of a sudden they see? Was that pivot sudden, and did that kind of catch them by surprise?
I don't really think it did. I think they knew that I was always going to be in a creative industry, and I think that they saw me try my very best, and they knew that I gave it my best, and I had to take a step back and go back to the basics and go back to what was really calling for me. So I don't think they were surprised. They were a little bit nervous at first, but they were really supportive.
Are they as tuned in as to how fast you've been growing as we are? I mean, or are they, sometimes our parents and families got their life, but do they know what we know?
They do. I call my mom every time I have a good day at work or get promoted or any news. They're happy to hear about it.
Oh, I can only imagine. Now, people that get to this show are at levels that you're at. You're even beyond that. But there's always points in their story where they see the potential. The light bulbs go on. They get I call it changes the trajectory, or it's nitroglycerin on the bonfire. Did you have a seeing once you started moving towards this that really is kind of fueling your passion?
I think it was when I started working at the salon that I'm at now, which is Love and Roots. It's the first summit salon I've ever worked at. And it was also, I think, just something about the team and how supportive they were. And I think I saw my bosses and what they did just starting as level ones too, and where they are now. And I realized how much is possible, especially with the help of, the summit program, of being able to see your progress. So I think that's what really sparked, my flame a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard guests come on the show to say, whatever my vision was and inspiration, when I got into a culture like Summit, whether I'm looking at level charts, leadership, relationships to team, and seeing the potential, it's like I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know it could be this good. And there's something about that awakening that just it unleashes. It's like, okay, I'm going to see how far I can go in this ride. It sounds that happened to you.
Yeah, definitely.
So your ride, your ascend. I mean, you're almost like growing at like ballistically, right? So I can only imagine that your life has changed. That whatever you are now, and your lifestyle and your standard of living and who you are is different than 2, 3, 4 years ago. How is that different? How is this ride changing you, and how is your life different now than the way it was?
Well, there's definitely the financial aspect has been really nice, and I can kind of come to work and really enjoy what I do and not have to worry as much about making ends meet. Everything really is kind of falling into place that way. I think also with the summit program and just with everything that I've learned in the summit program, just having that work-life balance. So everything's going well at work, and then just remembering to care for those other parts of your life too. I think it's been more of a focus for me now than it was before.
Yeah, and I think you and I were chatting a little bit about this the other day when I was kind of doing the interview before the interview, and I said, have you ever had the opportunity to, in essence, triple your income in a year and or get to the level of income now that you're at? And I think you said, no, this is like a new experience for me.
Yeah, it is.
And does your family of origin, do they know that part of the story as well? I mean, I can only imagine your parents going, "Oh my God," she's earning as much or more than graduates with 4-year, 6-year degrees at university. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's,
I think they're definitely, I mean, they always believed in me, but they're definitely really surprised, and they're really excited to learn more about this summit program every time I talk to them, because they realize, how far you can actually go, just seeing how far I came in the last 9 months.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So what's next for Jordyn? I mean, you've been on a climb. Like, what do you see yourself in the next year or so? To what's the next level for you? What's your vision?
Well, I definitely want to focus and keep focusing on education, keep growing, maybe possibly educate in the future. Um, I'd like to invest my money a little bit and, make sure I'm making some money while I'm not working and standing and physically laboring too. Um, and just keep pushing on and see where it takes me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love your answer about, okay, I got my income here and it's going to continue to grow, but I really want to manage my money in a way over time so that at the end of 10, 15, 20 years, I have a life that I wouldn't have if I wasn't, it's not just about what we make, it's what we keep, it's what we do with what we keep, so that over time we've got something to show for it. That sounds like it's kind of in your plan.
Definitely.
So there's a whole bunch of people watching tonight, and by the way, you've got fans like are cheering you on here. And there's going to be a few thousand over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks on this page, YouTube, IGTV, and they're looking at you, they're listening to you, they're relating, with you, and they're going, "Oh my God!" I mean, one of the things here tonight said, somebody's saying, "My God, she got to this level at this." So they're going, "Wow, she's in a place I'd love to be." I'm in a place that she used to be. I wonder if I did what she did, would it be as possible for me? What might you say to them to get them cooking?
Well, I would say, I mean, just make sure that you love what you're doing. Um, these last year, I don't think I was focusing as much on moving up quickly. I was more just focused on perfecting my craft, doing what I love, making sure that what I'm doing is, something I feel really, really good about, something others feel really good about. So I would say, don't look at other people and what they're doing. Just focus on you and your everyday. Just try to be better than the person you were yesterday. Um, and you'll get there in your own timeline.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a whole bunch of things that are unprecedented about your profile and your journey. You're really level three. So, there's four, there's 4A, there's 4AA. So you're halfway through the chart. And what's astonishing is that you're at a level of income, frankly, that's equal to and sometimes greater than people at 4 and 4A. So if this is what and what's cool about this, Jordyn, is that people that are in level three, it's showing them that you can get to a higher income without necessarily waiting to jump to 4A, and you're really kind of giving us a vision for that is possible and then showing us. So kudos to you.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes or so left. I'd love to get you talking about what you're doing on social media, specifically Instagram, anything else that you got cooking behind the chair, because you're trending to do about 300 referrals in this 365-day window of time. And I've had like 188 people on before you. If you said how many of these people got to 300, I can probably count them on 2 fingers, and you're the second finger. So what's making a difference for you behind the chair with social media and whatever other things you're doing?
Well, I think it's I think part of what I took from working with a modeling agency is just knowing how to take a good picture and knowing what I want the focus to be of the picture. So making sure that I'm drawing people's eyes exactly kind of to my favorite part of the hair, to what I think is the best angle.
I mean, as you're talking, I'm taking the viewers on a little field trip just on your grids, and you've got the cleanest set of grids. It's all your work. The photography is extraordinary. I mean, even the backdrop, there's nothing to take the attention off of your work. So, and then as I'm excuse me, looking Sometimes you'll have video, and sometimes you'll have swipe rights. And showing actually this swipe right, you can see a video in play, and before that, you see the after effects. So, how much time are you putting into your photography and your videography in any given day or week? Because there's a lot of thought put in that.
Honestly, it really only, it doesn't take as much time as people think. Just adding 5 minutes at the beginning or end of an appointment to take those pictures is helpful to me. My clients usually like it. They usually are excited to be on my page, and it doesn't take too much time. It's totally worth the time that it takes.
And then you've got actually a highlight that says, what does the highlight say? It's your first one on your library. It just says hair, but there's probably 20 slides here. And some of these slides are just, still shots. And then there's some there we go. We got a video, and you start it in regular time, and then it flips to slow motion. And I think you've got a couple of those pieces on. There's another one. So it starts reg, and then, I mean, the effect is extraordinary. The color, it works well. I'm real curious, when your clients see this, whether they're in your chair in real time or, they're on the internet and they're on your page, what kind of feedback are you getting from them? Like, how is that branding you in their eyes?
They love it. I think they feel kind of silly at first. And then as soon as they're done, I show them the video in slow motion, and they get really, really excited. And I also think it helps them see themselves and their hair in a way that they wouldn't usually be able to. So they love it. And then usually they're on Instagram the next day waiting to see that video up there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where a client seeing what you're doing on just slow motion, regular slow mo, and they're seeing the back, it would give them a larger than life image of themselves. It's like, whoa, that's me.
Yeah.
Right. So that experience has really got to be something that they remember. Probably when they go back to their world, they're either talking about it or posting about it. How much of the content that you're documenting would actually find its way to your clients' pages, where they're showcasing what you did on them on their page?
Pretty often. I like to add my clients on Instagram and tag them. I communicate with them through Instagram all the time. They'll send me pictures of stuff that they like, and so we'll communicate a lot through that.
And then I'm real curious, how often would you be going to your Instagram page or your grids in a typical consultation with a first-time client, where you're using your page as much as a kind of a real-time digital lookbook as you would, posting content to kind of brand yourself on the internet?
Every single time. I always go back to photos. I love for them to get an idea of my style and how I do things. And I love seeing what really gets them excited. So usually they'll find one specific picture and they're like, ooh, and I know that that's the one for them.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what I'm real curious about is that when you're in a consultation, showing them their work, how many of your referrals might have their mobiles out where they were on your page, saw a piece of your work, and it's something that they're questioning you about? Can you do this on me?
It happens pretty often. I'd say a few times a week that'll happen, and I'm always really flattered when I see that they've been on my page and found this inspo picture that made them want to come in immediately. Is always really, I think, more exciting for me than for them.
Yeah, yeah. And so as you're talking, I'm actually crawling your grids, because about every probably 9 or 10 grids, you have a video, and it's showing regular time as well as slow motion, and the effects are amazing. So I can only imagine the clients that you're really doing this with and for and on, and their experience, and then when people that are kind of searching you out and going, who is she, who is Jordyn, and what's her work, and they see that, that's got to blow their mind.
I hope so. I hope they all love it as much as you do.
Well, the last question I want to ask you is there's a lot of people, Jordyn, probably in a typical salon, at least 50 or 60 people in the salon aren't in social media yet. They've been kind of doing it the traditional way, but they see it happening. They're starting to feel the implications of not being on it, so they're like, I got to get into this, but they're scared. They're intimidated. They're whatever. Is there anything you might say to them to kind of like help encourage them to start moving into that, I would call it, new wave?
Yeah, I would say, all the social media is really made to connect us. Yes, it can be used as, a portfolio, a digital portfolio, but I would say like the number one thing to do is start interacting with your clients online. Ask them to add you, tag them in your photos, ask them to send you cool hair pictures that they find on there, and just really start engaging and interacting with people online. People, again, they love seeing themselves on other people's pages. They love being able to reach their stylist once in a while through Instagram. So I would say just get on there and start adding people, add your friends, add other stylists, stylists you love to watch, and start engaging with them.
And then one of your buds, Jessica, says she's an honor to work with. So Jessica Murphy Chapman.
Oh, she's probably downstairs watching this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, listen, we're out of time, but before you go, promise me that you'll come back in 2020 for an encore. I have a feeling that this time, approximately next year, you're going to be at the top of the chart or at a level that's currently not on the chart. And I would just absolutely love to have you back to catch us up, because I think you're just getting warmed up.
I promise I will be here in 2020.
I love it when that happens. All right, I'm going to let you go and get some rest. Thank you very much for taking time out of your life to be with us tonight. It was an honor to have you on.
Thank you, Michael. It was awesome being on.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Jordyn Pinto. Will you guys? All righty. Perfect. I think you got to give it up for her one more time, because what she was doing, what she brought to the table tonight, I think was extraordinary. Now, I think that her story, as part of her ride, is she'd had some time in the modeling business, and so around a lot of cameras and stuff, so not as intimidated by photography and videography. That helped her to kind of grease the wheels and on-ramp quicker. But she, I think that when you really look at what she's doing, I would call it simply genius. It's simple, and yet when you watch the effects of it, of her videography, while it's not fancy, it's potent, it's effective. And I think that the clients that she's engaging in that is really they're going, whoa, if I didn't know any better, I think I've made the front cover of Vogue, right, or cosmetology, higher fashion work. And she also, when there are people that are kind of vetting her out and kind of on her page, who is she, and I want to see some of her work before I book with her, and they're seeing work like that, it's like, that's an exquisite point of difference. So I really want to encourage you to hang out on her page, and we've posted her Instagram handle. I think you're going to really enjoy what she has to say. So give it up for her one more time. Now, if you're new to our conversations, you're on Michael Cole Summit. Is the Facebook Live. Tonight we do this every Thursday night. This was episode 189, and we will edit this, and it'll find its place on Summit's YouTube page. We'll also kind of cook this down to a 3, 4, 5 minute micro learning, and that will find itself on my Michael Cole Summit Instagram page on IGTV. So if you Googled Michael Cole Summit, it's going to take you to all of the communities, whether we're talking Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. But the real actions, the learning channels, if you will, for the salon is the IGTV channel on Instagram, and then the channel you're on now, and that's Facebook. So hang out with me, and we continue to do this, and we're doing more and more of it. I think you'll find it to be interesting. SummitSalon.com is one of our main .coms. It's really where we have our resource material, and any people that we invite to be a guest, two things. One, they're part of the Summit community, and you saw Jordyn was just one more testimonial that once I saw the Summit culture, the Summit level systems, Summit leadership, it really showed me that as much potential as I thought was in this business, it paled in comparison, and that's what juices. And these are now the texts. These are the official texts. So we've got a social digital script guide that, when you're going from not doing social to social, this is just a great blueprint that kind of gets you into the shallow end of the pool. And then the planner, the social digital planner, which is really looking at my day and where are my windows of time that are empty. How many of those windows do I want to use and engage in doing things on social media so that the effects of that fill future windows of time, whether it's this afternoon, tomorrow, this week, whatever. And you'll see that all of the people that we interview, this is really the tools that they use day to day. So I hope that you give yourself an opportunity to check that out. And on the product pages, you can actually watch the tutorial videos right on the product pages before purchasing to kind of teach you how to use them. I think you'll find it to be really, really useful. All of our lives are recorded and edited and uploaded on YouTube as well as Instagram. So take advantage of that. We have a brand new .com called SummitSalon365.com. And that is really some of our higher end video courses. You get online, and it's streamed video. I call it the Summit Netflix channel. And for a very nominal annual subscription fee, you can go online and watch our courses. So I designed a course called the Social Digital Guest Experience. There's Retail Revolution. There's some front desk courses on that .com. So take us up on that. And then our latest, greatest, we are moving into online coaching, online consulting, online mentoring, online courses in real time where you can sign up with 10 other people, hang out on a Zoom.com page, and have 1 hour classes weekly with little assignments to do in between. You're going to really want to check that out. If you're a salon spa owner, you can now have online consulting, social media virtual coaching, signing up for courses, a complimentary 1 hour consultation with one of our digital coaches to really kind of take you on a little field trip on some of our courses so that you can see what's possible without jumping on planes, trains, and automobiles. So call our 800 number or visit our .com, and we'll set up a interview for you and show you what's possible. So we also have mobile calculators now that have algorithms where you decide how much money you want to take home, and the calculators are rigged in a way that they break it down to what your average day would need to be in service and retail for you to take that home, so that you can use our planner to plan about, okay, what is the difference between my average day now and the average day I want to take home $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 more, and how am I going to use my downtime to really, fill in those future windows. So please take us up on that. Also, you're going to find that we have tracking apps as well. And by the way, this is all no charge. So our sponsors, L'Oreal, PPD, I'll get to that in a second, is what allows us to kind of bring this to you in a way that's very affordable because it's free. And I got a lot of compliments tonight on my new T-shirt. We every week I try to bring out something that we wear. They're just designs. I'm a boomer, so I'm not into tattoos, but I love tattoos, and I get a new tat every week. So we have a .com, mctattees.com. All of the proceeds on that go to teaching children, preschool, kindergarten, first, second grade, literacy ads, so that they have a greater chance when as they kind of go through the system. So it's a good cause, and the shirts are remarkable. If you like that, get on that .com and get yourself a tee. So great show tonight. Thank you to L'Oreal Professional Product Division. These are their brands. We got Redken, we have Pureology, Pope Right is one of our newest family members, Mazzani, Baxter, Balayage, Matrix, SE, Kerastase, L'Oreal Professional, and of course Shoe. And use their brands, because when you use the brands and your clients support the brands that way, this is how they're able to sponsor us to bring technology and content to you in this way. So thank you, L'Oreal PPD, and of course Summit Salon business partners. If you're part of the Summit community, you always have the home court advantage. If you're new to us, talk to your salon-centric sales consultant or your state or RDA distributor sales consultant. Find out what this is. We come in, we kind of do a little of assessment in your salon and show you what's possible. Love to have you for the ride. So, been a great show tonight. Happy holidays to everyone, and join us for next week's show as well.